so
like with
you
the
have a client would be like someone, let's say the client is better than rich as the example, client better than rich.
yeah,
And we say, hey, we want 10,000 followers. I'm going to
yeah.
pay you
For a sponsorship spot, right?
blank
You're gonna sponsor this
dollars.
giveaway. Yeah.
So whatever that, let's say using the $2,000, I'm going to give you $2,000 to go bring 10,000 people, 10,000 eyeballs to my account.
Mhm.
Go make that
Yeah.
happen. Then you take that $2,000 and you're going to buy whatever you're going to buy. Maybe it's more than 2,000, but using this example,
Yeah.
you're going to take some of that $2,000 and give to an influencer, and you're going to take some of that $2,000 to have some sort of prize that
Mhm.
is of value. That
Correct.
influencer then goes to their audience and says, hey, do you want this really cool $1,500 prize? You do. All you need to do is go follow Better Than Rich, and you go follow Better Than
100%.
Rich. As long as you follow their page, then you're going to get entered into a raffle for this giveaway. Am I missing
100%. Yep.
something? Is that what this is? That
That's
kind of
very
like a,
simple. It's very simple. It's that's basically exactly what it is. And,
and it's
set
worth it to me as
instead
the
of
business owner to spend some of these dollars to
100%,
get these
100
eyeballs to my account.
eyeballs and like and it's again it's just really about having social proof, right? So you have so many competitors, like so many other podcasts as an example, right? People want to work with the Joe Rogan podcast. The podcast has got 8 million followers and is getting
Yeah.
all these different views, and just naturally, we're more enticed to click on a video that's got 200K views versus 2000 views, right? So like that's really just like the formula of what it is, and you just have to be consistent, because once you gain those followers, you got to retain the followers, right? You got to keep posting out content, and you got to leverage that to keep growing organically by sticking with these trends, right? It's not as simple as just gaining and now you're good to go. No, there's a lot of stuff you have to be consistent with, you have to implement. But now, we shifted more into targeted growth, so we're a lot more niche specific. So we actually focus more on gaining clients smaller amounts, but just more targeted, because just the algorithms have changed since we did that business. And again, a key thing when running a company is you got to be flexible, and you got to be able to shift and adapt to the market. Adaptation is key. So now we're adapting to different things. And also, like, where I'm at now, like, we've just evolved. Like, I went through a recent merger and acquisition, and we're mostly now just a social media agency that helps anyone with anything you can imagine social media related, from building websites, anything branding really. So, getting you into earned media and so forth, right? So what you can imagine with social media, we can fulfill. And we take pride of that. And currently, I really don't know too many agencies that could possibly be bigger than us in terms of volume and what we're doing right now and the impact that
What's
we're
the name of the
making.
agency?
Uh, so our new name under the merger is S99 Agency. So
Mm.
that is the new name. And I'm so stoked for that, because this is the first time I actually have like a real finance team and, CMO, COO, and a big sales team and so forth. And we have a number of different websites. We have a full-time ads team going on. And now I'm finally, shifted away from just like being that Instagram guy to actually running a real company, because a great book, it's called The E Myth, right? And it talks about how you cannot be the business as an entrepreneur. You have to run the business. You have to look at the businesses as different boxes, build these businesses and have them run themselves, right? I made my money doing what I did best, and I'm still doing that. But now I'm running a company that's helping people do that at scale with a much higher market cap, right? So now that we're in public relations and so forth, us being 8 figures, 9 figures, it's very attainable. And it's not, again, you have to have the infrastructure and the framework to build that. So I was willing to go, take, when I was running Quick Jump at the time, which I still do. It's just under the merger now. So there's a list of other companies under S99, like a holdings company and so forth. But, you have to be willing to take less profit to be able to do more, to just do more, do more business, And so I was making, 100%, and, I don't make 100% of the profits anymore, but now I have the framework to do, 10x plus revenue. So
Sure.
making 100K a month, we can do a million a month, So
And for you, I mean, being, I want to come back to this idea that you had in Brazil, and then we'll
mhm,
jump back to more present day. But you realize there's this opportunity. You
mhm,
connected on the opportunity. You put a whole whopping $300 in your pocket, and you said, "Wow, there's a proof of concept here. I'm really pumped
yeah.
about this." Where was the so that was the epiphany, and then from that epiphany, how did that lead to that first, let's call it your first 10K month? I mean, being early 20s and
Well,
making that first 10
yeah,
grand
I'd love
month
to walk you
is,
through the numbers. So it's
Yeah.
very so let's just say we have 80 people, right? We have 80 people, 80 sponsors of the giveaway, right? All want to grow their brands times 30. Times 300. That's $24,000. So if we sold 80 spots, so if I'm just DMing people every single day, and then suddenly I have all these other social media marketing agencies that want to resell spots for us, like, wow, you have guarantees. Wow, the followers are great. We want to sell this. So it just all like I solved a huge problem in the market, and naturally agencies were wanting to sell my services so bad, right? And people were buying. It's crazy. It's like passive income. I had companies buying 8, 12 slots from me, right?
And
So
when
I'd
you
say
say
like,
a
hey,
slot, what is that? What does a slot mean?
so like one of the people were following during the giveaway for them to gain
Oh, okay.
followers,
So
right?
the celebrity
So
has those 10,000 people that are
yeah,
gonna
and
like.
we'd
Okay.
max and back then we'd max it at 60 or 80 depending on the amount of promoters we had and how big they were. We actually had an advisor in Brazil that would literally host these Brazil giveaways. So there were people hosting these giveaways in Brazil, but they were all speaking Portuguese. So there was no one that could do this in America because they couldn't even try to get American clients. Because anytime you get a message and it's all foreign, you're not going to go take the time, Google translate it, go back, you know? So like we were solving a huge problem in, the US. And we were just communicating with people that were running them and they were helping us book our giveaways and so forth, book our talent and making it a lot easier because they can, they're bilingual. Um,
Mm,
but yeah, if you sell 80 slots at $300, that's $24,000. You spend 5K on the influencer and 2K on prizes, you make a lot of profit really fast, right? Obviously, when you're building a company, though, you have a lot more unexpected costs. You need other promoters, you need to give away more prizes, whatever it may be. So it's not all just like pure profit. But you can imagine, once we started hosting 2 giveaways a month and the spot prices go up and now it's a bigger giveaway. So now you're charging $600 instead of 300 and you're selling 80 slots, you're doing 50,000 a month gross, right? And it literally within 3 months, we were doing that, and it's
mm,
crazy. Literally 0 to hero. Like it happened very fast. And on top of that, I've landed a client named Jake, who ends up kind of mentoring me for a little bit, and I end up moving in with that client in Vegas, and we ended up getting a mansion together and just keep leveling up together and so forth. And that was, I mean, it was just awesome because there was only so much that Jake could teach me, but what he could do for me is he could show me it's possible, and he was the person that really pushed me to drop out. And Jake was paying me to give you guys an example. I was a college kid, and Stefan referred me Jake, right? And Jake was paying me 3,000 a month just to send DMs off his account. So what that means is that 2 times a week, I would spend 2 hours, probably four. I'd work 4 hours a week doing this, and all I would do is I'd go to everyone who's ever DM'd before, and I'd send them the same script over and over and over again. He was paying me 3,000 a month, and that's all profit. I'm not paying this. I'm the one doing it. It's all profit. 3,000 a month doing that. When you get a client like that, you could say, I am one of this is I'm all in. And imagine how my family was thinking. My parents thinking I'm selling drugs. My brother and sister are like, "What the hell? This is not real." Like they've never seen anything like this before. I remember I went to, you know, like at one of the graduations, they were having a celebration at UVA, and you got these people that have spent the long time in school and so forth, and they're literally coming up to me asking for advice, like grown adults and people that major in business and start business, and they still don't know how business works really because it's an experience based thing, right? So they learned all the vocabulary words that I don't know, but they don't know what to do. Where do I start and all these things? So again, the biggest like thing I can tell you is get started if you haven't gotten started yet, and be flexible, adapt, learn. You got to stay consistent long enough to get results, right? And you have to see something. You just have to provide value to the market. That's really what it is.
mm.
You got to look at the industry that you're in and how can you provide value. And the more value you can provide at scale, the more money you're going to make. And the more problems you're going to solve, the more money you're going to make. So, yeah, I don't know if I missed anything there,
No,
but kind of went on
I
a
mean,
little bit of a
Trey,
rant.
that's awesome. And essentially, you found this need in the marketplace. You found a way around it. You went what I think the big light bulb is like. Let me go to another country. Wow, our dollar is worth more to them, and we could be more profitable for our company, and also be able to still get the same outcome for our clients. And I really love that using the Google Translate, just adapting a little bit, and then using other people's money in order to, in order to satisfy. the needs that
to
and
get
the
it going. Yeah,
promises, and fast forward 2 years, in just 2 years, am I correct with the statistic that you've collected cash collected over $3 million have gone through your hands
yeah,
over the course of just of this epiphany and this breakthrough that you had a couple years ago?
100%.
That's
My
great.
tax return last year, we can play. It was over $1 million. Tax return this year is going to be good amount over 1 million. And the year and that when I like that 2020, when I was like first started Quick Jump, we cash collected 300,000 that short last like 6 month stretch. So
Mm,
we've been 3, 4xing pretty consistently. Um, but yeah, it's just I'm very grateful, to have been able to done that, to gain that experience. And there are a lot of ups and downs. What I will say is to any entrepreneur that's watching this right now, I understand you. People don't realize how much anxiety we have to carry on a daily basis on when our business could fall apart or complete. It's crazy, right? To choose the path of an entrepreneur is not an easy path. It is hard, it is tough, but the rewards are great. The person that you have to become in order to become successful is so worth it, right? So, in order to achieve something you've never had before, you have to become someone you've never been before. So, remember that.